This is big, guys. This is definitely big. Today, we're taking a look at Ghostbusters, the board game. Originally launched as a Kickstarter campaign, thanks to everybody there at home, Ghostbusters, the board game is a reality. And the company behind this game, Cryptozoic, they were nice enough to send us a copy, so we can give everybody out there a preview of what's inside the standard edition. So one of the first things you're going to see when you pop open that top is the Ghostbusters Operation Field Manual. And there's also a story inside, brought to you by the creative team from IDW's Ghostbusters comic book series. Alright, so we have all the instructions in here, a breakdown of the characters that you can play as, also a breakdown of the ghosts that you're going to catch, well, bust in the game. And once again, the art is directly from the IDW comic book series. As we dig a little deeper, we also come across the player cards. Standard edition features 4 of them, obviously for the main 4 Ghostbusters, Dr. Peter Venkman, Egon Spengler, Ray Stantz, and Winston Zeddemore. You also have character cards for all the ghosts as well, and also you receive campaign cards that tell you exactly how you're going to play each level, as well tells you where to place all the pieces. Yeah, speaking of that, the actual board game is made up of these, a ton of little squares. The campaign card tells you exactly in which order to put them, and when you're done, it looks something like this. From there, we've got this big, mysterious brown box. It's a hobby. Alright, now pulling this open is the most, this is the part I've been waiting for. Here is just one of the trays showcasing tons of little game pieces. We've got Egon Spengler, Winston Zeddemore, Peter Venkman, and Ray Stantz right there, as well as an absolutely awesome looking Ecto-1. You also get a look at some of the ghosts that you're going to bust in game, including 20 galloping ghouls, 12 gruesome twosomes. Boogaloo, we've got 8 of him, who's another boss in the game. We also have Slimer, who is one of the bosses, as well as also Adolnus, who is made popular in the IDW comic book series. As well as the big manifestation himself, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. And now that everything is set up, you should probably know some basics about the game. Now, the game can be played by 1 to 4 players. However, all 4 Ghostbuster character pieces must be in play, meaning that if one person is playing the game, they're playing as all 4. 2 people playing, they can play as 2-piece. Just, you do the math. And the game is very heavy on RPG elements. As you play through, you gain experience, and as you gain experience, you level up. Leveling up gives you new perks that you can use against the ghosts. And the characters even have kind of their own classes. Peter Venkman gains experience when he's slime. Ray's kind of the healer. He could remove slime from other players, and he actually gains experience from that. Egon's the wild shot. If you roll a 1, he gains an experience point. And Winston's kind of the support class. Whenever you bust a ghost, you trap it. If you give that ghost to Winston, he'll deposit it. When it gets deposited, guess what? He gains an experience point. Also, the ghosts have their own class level. The Galloping Ghoul is a Class 1, while Gruesome Twosome is a Class 2, and Boogaloo is a Class 3. And the bosses, Slimer, Adolnus, and Gozer as the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, all pack one hell of a punch, and you definitely should work as a team to take these guys down. Now, the object of the game is to close up portals that are all scattered around the map. Here's where it gets a little tricky though. As you play along, ghosts will come out of those portals, filling the map more and more and more. And when you're trying to bust one of those ghosts, if you're unsuccessful in doing so, they can actually leave the playing board. When they leave the playing board, that's kind of like they're leaving New York City. Hey, it's out of your jurisdiction. You're not going after them. And you may be thinking, hey, that's great. They're leaving the board. I don't have to worry about them. But there's this little square map that they like to call the Ghost World. And if there's no ghost in that spirit world, the whole world collapses in itself. You lose. So your goal is to keep the ghost in New York City, bust them, deposit them, and make sure they go back to the spirit world. Another cool thing is whenever it's your turn, you get a free motion. And that free motion could be maybe giving Winston Zeddemore a ghost to deposit, or if you're Ray, maybe taking slime off of a fellow Ghostbuster, or even getting in or out of the Ecto-1. Yes, sooner or later as you play this game, somebody's gonna have to get in the Ecto-1 and drive it around the city. Oh, and before I forget, let's talk about the PKE meter. Wait, not that PKE meter, this PKE meter. This little thing is going to tell you where the ghosts are going to go in the game when you're unsuccessful in busting them. This little thing may be your best friend if the ghost comes closer to you so you can bust it easier, or it may make the ghost move out of your line of sight or take him entirely off the map. Also, the length of the games can definitely vary. You can choose to do just one scenario. It'll take you maybe about 30 minutes or so. Or you can sit down and be there for a couple hours playing through an entire campaign, eventually getting to the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, crossing the streams, and saving the world. Oh, and speaking of streams, like I said, some ghosts are going to be easier to take down than others. That's why they packed in a ton of these little guys. Let's say a ghost needs to take 2 streams for you to actually take him down. You'll place a stream on the ghost to let everybody know that he's currently being wrangled, and then your partner can come along and help. Now that's about the basics of Cryptozoic's Ghostbusters, the board game. There's some fine details that you guys are also going to learn when you pick up your copy of the game, but as somebody who has not played a new board game in about probably 15 to 20 years, I was really shocked with how easy I was able to pick this up. Cryptozoic did a fantastic job with their field manual, and maybe because this game is Ghostbusters and not Dungeons and Dragons, but this game hooked me. I wanted to learn more and more about it, and I've played about 3 games of it so far, and each time I'm getting better. I also can't wait to see what custom campaigns you, the fans, make up at home. And I have to plead to Cryptozoic, please make add-ons for this thing. A Ghostbusters 2 themed board would be amazing. The Scoleri brothers in the courtroom? Come on! And with the 2016 film coming out next year, I would love to see an add-on of that for this game. As somebody who doesn't like board games, I love this game! Cryptozoic, if you want to use that as a statement from us on a review, we'd be fine with that. So if you guys see this at your local game shop, or just browsing your favorite online web store and come across it, no, wait a minute, screw it. Go out of your way and find this game. And if you're a Ghostbuster fan, you need to pick this up. And we'd like to thank everybody out there for checking out this video. Now, if you don't mind, I gotta go because I've got some playing to do.